What is foster care and adoption?
Adoption is when, in my opinion, when a parent cannot take care of their child financially, so they put them in homes where they could be supported long enough to where another family could take the child that can't support them, like financially.
I know not much. All I know is that they can't have dogs and they have to treat the foster kids well. You can't abuse them and starve them.
Foster care is a temporary arrangement in which adults provide for the care of a child or children whose birth parent is unable to care for them.
I know two, her name's Sierra Hall, and another one is Seth Kaufman.
I met someone who was in foster care, and her foster parents starved her her whole life, for years. They would give her canned food, and it would just nothing substantial, and that's a problem too.
Foster care's goal is to reunify children with their birth parents or family when the family is safe enough, but if it is the child's best interest, adoption is possible. When couples want to have a child but they can't, they turn to adoption.
I think the challenges they face is discrimination against society because they don't have the things that other people have, like phones, for example, or a nice house.
I feel like a challenge for the parents adopting these kids is to make them feel comfortable in their own home. It's kind of hard, especially for foster parents, because you're not keeping these kids, but you want them to feel like you care, And so it's kind of difficult to they know that they're gonna leave your house and that they're gonna come here for a little bit and go somewhere else. So they aren't usually gonna be the best kids, I don't think. I'm not really sure, but it just seems like they would be more rebellious than someone who's has their parents their whole life. The challenge for being a foster kid would be that you just know that you're never gonna stay in one place. You want a family and you want someone to care for you, but it feels like no one ever will. That's not good.
As an adopted child grows up, they will reflect on their adoption. It will pop up randomly throughout their life. Adopted children struggle with self-esteem and identity development. Most of them cannot wrap their head around the fact that they have a whole other side to the family.
My name is Seth Kaufman and I'm 17 years old.
I'm Sierra Hall and I'm 17 years old.
I'm Scylla. I'm 20.
Foster care for me was a blur because I was only in it for a couple months, but I can safely say that adoption was one of the greatest things that's happened to me because it's given me the life I have today.
For me, I was in foster care a lot longer than Seth, and I believe I was older, so I remember a lot more. And I saw very good sides and very bad sides of it. And actually, the poor foster parents I had were more kind and more nurturing, and the kind of richer, more perfect family ideals type of foster family were really abusive.
Being able to know that somebody loves you no matter what, even if they weren't who birthed you. Yeah. Because I was never through foster care, but I have a sperm donor person that I came out of, but those are my mom and dad,
My reason for being put into foster care was because my mother, she wasn't very adequate of taking care of me. She did a lot of drugs and illegal substances, and she didn't have enough money to take care of me. And she had 11 kids in total, and I'm one of the youngest ones, so it was really hard for her to let me go, but she thought it was the best for me.
I guess my story is really similar to Seth. I was living with my mom, and my parents had never been married. She was really into a whole bunch of drugs and illegal substances, and she was working at a gas station. She just couldn't afford to take care of me. She couldn't even really take care of herself.
And the mother who raised me had my older sister first, and then gave her back to my real mom, and then took me. I wasn't as hard, so I lasted. But she loves me. That whole family loves me, and I don't know where I'd be if they weren't there.
My adopted dad is white, and it's kind of hard. It was hard for me growing up with a white dad because everyone expected me to have white parents. They expected me to act black, dress black, and I can say that if I didn't have my dad today, I wouldn't be the way I am right now. But yeah, so.
I think my main issue with being adopted is, well, everyone that finds out that I'm adopted, they're always like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's viewed in a really negative light. Like Seth, my being adopted when I was 11 was one of the best things that's ever happened. I'm so much better for it. I'm a lot better off. I actually have a chance of going to college and having a future that I did not have when I was younger. And I just feel really, really blessed that I was adopted, and I have wonderful parents and a huge family, and those are things I would not have had if I had stayed in the conditions I was in.
Before, I know now, but before I didn't know exactly what ethnicity I am or was. So people would always ask me, well, what are you? Are you Mexican? Are you Filipino? What are you? But I finally figured out that I'm Mexican and I'm Puerto Rican. Don't know how much of which one, but I do know that. And that was something that I challenged with growing up because I never knew what to tell anybody. And I felt weird about it because they're always just like, oh, go ask your mom. Well, I don't know. My mom doesn't know either. So it was hard for me to, like, certain things like that when they were like, oh, go ask your mom this, something that my mom who raised me isn't going to know.
Cassidy Bishop is 31 years old and has 3 biological sons and 3 adopted daughters. Her sons are Gavin, Maddox, and Jackson. Her daughters are Aria, River, and Ivy. Cassidy was told that after Jackson she would not be able to conceive another child because her uterus would rupture. So when Jackson turned 2, she turned to foster care. She fostered so many little babies. These children were faced with so many challenges, like for instance, 2 of them were preemie girls. They were exposed to drugs and alcohol, so they struggled with sleeping. They aspirated in their sleep and would stop breathing. They all had in-home therapies, speech, feeding, and PT. One of the babies had PTSD due to the trauma she had experienced with her biological parents. Cassidy got another pair of twins that had some sort of mental or physical ailment. They were too small to hold down any food, so they were hospitalized, and one was put into a medically fragile foster home. River came from one of Cassidy's friends. River was adoptable, and they wanted her. When Ivy and Aria came, they were free to adopt. The girls came scared and upset. Luckily, Cassidy knew how to help that. In Arizona, where Cassidy lives, there is a 6-month waiting period for children who have been placed in the home for adoption. They had River's adoption day all planned, but Ivy and Aria had not been eligible to adopt yet, due to the 6-month waiting period. The judge called the night before River's adoption and waived the 6-month waiting period. All 3 girls were adopted on Cassidy's 31st birthday. The family's challenges were getting over the losses of the children they had fostered. Cassidy had to constantly find ways to help them understand the beauty in the sadness of it all, and remind little Jackson that he would never be taken from them. He was and is so young that he feared he would have to be taken one day too. He even got scared that if they didn't adopt him, he wouldn't be able to stay with them. The fear of being taken away was the challenging part. Most of these children feel like they are letting their adopted family down by expressing their want to learn about their biological family. Most of the children have been abused or neglected and have not grown up in a nurturing home. These moments are critical in a short and long-term development of their brain. Abused children have a harder time attaching themselves to anyone. Do you know anyone who has been adopted?
Name and age.
Oh.
Do you have to think about this?
Feel special.
Question. What's my question?
Oh, sorry, babe.
Special.
I don't know where I want to sit. Hold on. I kind of want to sit up here because like, it doesn't hurt my butt, but I really like the spot that
I really want you to like fall through.
I probably will.
Really hard for her to let me go, but she thought it was the best for me. Donnie, I swear to God.
Exactly what ethnicity I am or was.
Or just kidding.
So people would always ask me, oh, what are you? Are you Mexican? You see me now?
I can. Okay.
Just start over.
Yes. What is adoption to you?
Adoption to me is, what did I say
It's being able to know that someone loves you.
Hey.